so together we're bringing you another captivating, very sizzling moment right here at the Sanctuary of Wind and Fire AG Church. We promise to do our best. Thank you.
This program is proudly sponsored by MTN Ghana. We have some supporting sponsors as well, which will be giving them a few minutes to speak to us as to what made them to come on board to want to partner and sponsor this particular program. So YAD, I think you begin with us.
All right, so we're going to commence with the Small Arms Commission. They were here on time, so they're going to take the lead. So with a resounding round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome them to the podium.
In our world today, gun violence is a real and tragic problem. Every year, thousands of people, including Ghanaians, lose their lives or are injured because of small arms. Some people usually use small arms when there is misunderstanding. In our world today, gun violence is a real and tragic problem. Every year, thousands of people, including Ghanaians, lose their lives or are injured because of small arms. Some people usually use small arms when there is misunderstanding. In our world today, gun violence is a real and tragic problem. Every year, thousands of people, including Ghanaians, lose their lives or are injured because of small arms. Some people usually use small arms when there is misunderstanding. But guns are not the solution. They only make the problem worse. Guns only make you vulnerable, not powerful. In our world today, gun violence is a real and tragic problem. Every year, thousands of people, including Ghanaians, lose their lives or are injured because of small arms. Some people usually use small arms when there is misunderstanding. But guns are not the solution. They only make the problem worse. Guns only make you vulnerable, not powerful. Gun violence is a threat to our peace and development. Let's silence the gun, not our future. Let's choose a safer and more peaceful path. Let's say no to guns. Join the fight to end gun violence now. This message is brought to you by the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons.
I need to save much after watching this video, a very short and explicit video. My name is Salim Ahmed Salim. I'm a programs officer with the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons. I'm here this morning with my colleague, Rabi Wusa Amidu Samuel. She is also a PPRME officer with the Commission. My task is simple. I'm here this morning just to remind all of us that violence today as youth is one thing that is bedeviling us. And one of the major instruments used in perpetrating violence today is the small arm and light weapons. In other parts of the world, they are things like chemical weapons and other things are being used. But in our part of the world, is the small arms and light weapons. Small arms, basically guns. Guns that are being wielded by individuals. Now, these small arms and light weapons, as you know, because of where we find our parts, the part of the country where we find ourselves, because we already have prevailing tribal conflicts and all that. So today, we are even moving forward and we are moving into the realms of just not even perpetrating small pieces of violence, like what you normally have, armed robbery, cases of gun attacks. Today, it is even going a notch higher. Elements of violent extremism are penetrating our veil and are using this as a means of providing us these arms when we are done with the conflicts that we are actually going through. So today we have tribal conflicts, we have religious, whatever. They use this as a means of influencing and penetrating through us, provide us with the weapons, then we kill ourselves. Then once we are done, they use this also indoctrinate us with the very, how do I even put it, There are doctrines which we sometimes blindly we follow. And at the end of the day, extremists break our realms and we start perpetrating violence. My message here is very simple. Guns are not for us as a youth. If we want our country to develop, then we must eschew guns. Sadly, we are seeing guns rear its head in our senior high schools. We've had cases in some schools within Tamale where guns are being used by students. And so when we get an opportunity like this, we always want to talk to you and remind you that the gun is never the solution. The gun can never be a solution. So let's eschew gun violence. Let's do away with gun violence. As a youth, the future is in our hands. We are to make a difference, and we can only make a difference by speaking to our colleagues and our parents to do away with the gun. We in Ghana sometimes we take our peace for violence. We take our peace for. We just don't value the peace we have. Just recently, you saw on social media where religious banter is beginning to rear its head. Over the years, we have been idolized by some of the countries we have around us. If you go to Nigeria, some of the things we have here, it's not in Nigeria. They want to be like us, but just a few days, you saw that we are trying to destroy whatever we have. So I'll call on all of us to remember that the gun is never the solution. Thank you very much.
Hello. When I say guns down, you say Ghana up. Guns down.
Ghana up.
Guns down.
Ghana up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please, a round of applause for them. Small Arms Commission, thank you so much for this very educative information. I think this is something that is very important. And as at the time I was in senior high, who dare you? Who dare you go into the premises, with certain, arms that could hurt another person? Who dare you? Okay, so I'm not going to blame any institution or any partner or anybody, but I think we have a responsibility to ourselves, right? If your friend has a weapon that would hurt you, it is your responsibility to make sure that is gotten rid of, right? And you yourself, you wouldn't want to possess a weapon that would hurt another person. Are we together? Please, let's give it up again for Small Arms Commission. Thank you so much for reminding us of the peace that we continue to enjoy, because it is always about what? Getting them young. And I really love that. Okay, coming up next is a message you're going to receive from Sweden, Ghana, and Miss Fatima is here to do that for us. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I hope we are all doing well today. My message is very short. Distinguished guests, organizers, partners, media persons, especially to the young people, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be speaking before you today. I'm in the person of Fatima from Sweden, Ghana. Haja was supposed to be here, but due to another assignment, she couldn't, so she told me to represent her. Mine is just to touch on the theme. But first of all, I want to commend the organizers for creating such a platform for young people like us. It tends to not only or to say that we, the young people, are only beneficiaries. No. It's trying to communicate that we are leaders. We are innovators. We are the custodians of tomorrow. And that alone is a plus. It is a positive message to all of us. Also, for the theme, passing the torch, what it communicates to us. What does passing the torch mean? The torch alone communicates a lot of things. The torch means knowledge. It means what? Leadership. It means hope to all of us. And that is the spirit behind all of this. We want to be better people. We want to learn from our predecessors. And passing the torch doesn't only mean that, generation before us are just giving us the mantle and moving aside. No. It means they are trying to, create spaces, create opportunities for all of us to learn. And for we, the young ones, when we get the mantle, it's not just because we are young that we are getting the mantle. It's because we have earned it. And we owe that responsibility. When you hold the mantle, it comes with a lot of responsibilities that we should accept to take on. Okay, so again, I want to commend the organizers. This is a very beautiful initiative, and for we Sweden Ghana, it is one of our very important areas that we work, because we mentor young ladies, and this is the definition of passing the torch. We want to see the young people excel. So I want to stop here and invite one of our young persons to also give a message so that we see evidence of passing the torch. So Najat, you can come with your colleagues so that they see evidence of what passing the torch can do for young girls. Okay, Najat. Yes.
Good morning to everyone. A special thank you to the convener of this youth summit, Ms. Martha Anabila, the chairperson, Madam Mariama, and our special guest of honor, Madam Adjoa Wiafe, invited guests, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. My name is Najat Abdul Majid, and I am passionate about advancing social justice. Human rights, and sustainable development through youth leadership, advocacy, and civic engagement. My interest spans environmental activism, political participation, human rights advocacy, girls' education, women's empowerment, diplomacy and international relations, as well as development. And I am a member of the 4th cohort of the Female Leadership Mentorship Academy of Sweden, Ghana. It is a privilege to stand before you all today to tell you a story about my journey as part of being a member of this year's cohort of the Female Leadership Mentorship Academy. Honestly speaking, before I joined the mentorship, I had dreams and ambitions, but I never was confident about myself or how to turn those dreams into reality. But the mentorship gave me a safe space to learn, ask questions, make mistakes, and grow. But more importantly, it gave me the opportunity to become the young lady you see before yourself this morning. One of the biggest things I have gained from this mentorship is self-confidence. I have become more comfortable speaking. I've become more comfortable leading and expressing myself and taking up opportunities. I have stand before crowds and walked into rooms where I once thought I never belonged. As a youth leader, I have learned to speak up, stand up, and become the voice for the young people I lead, especially young women. I also had the opportunity to facilitate our first peer-to-peer session as a member of the 4th cohort of this year's Female Leadership Mentorship Academy of Sweden, Ghana. That experience reminded, thank you. So, in conclusion, I'd like to say a big thank you to the organizer of this program, the sponsors, and more importantly, to Hajia Alima, my mentor, who has taught me that learning is the best way to grow and that giving up is not part of the option. To my young people here, the theme for this year's event, Passing the Torch, means that.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, so let's give it up to Madam Fatima and her theme her team for that very insightful address. Let's give it up to them once again. And next on the bill, let's welcome Pure Earth. You have 5 minutes. Please, let's do our best to comply with the time. Let's welcome her as she mounts the podium.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chelsea Mambora, and it's a privilege to be representing Pure Earth here today. I was informed I had 10 minutes, but I was just told now 5. So I'm just going to keep my message very, very brief. Pure Earth is a non-profit organization that works to tackle pollution from heavy metals, specifically mercury and lead. And our work spans, mostly we work in lower middle income countries. And today I just want to talk to you about lead poisoning. Lead poisoning is a silent and hidden public health threat. A lot of us might not be aware. So I'm just going to quickly go through some of the things that we would find lead in. I don't know, I have a presentation. It would be best if there were pictures to show. But then I'll just go ahead. So 1 in 3 children globally have lead in their blood. Lead is not supposed to be in anyone's blood to begin with. But research has shown that in Ghana, if we sample 2 children randomly, one of them would have very elevated levels of lead in their blood. Some of the sources of lead we can talk about include pipes. So in the early 1900s, there were pipes that were used. So lead is a heavy metal, it's soft, it does not corrode easily, you can easily beat it into shapes, and so it's very cheap as well. So people used to use it for industrial purposes to create paint, toys, even to paint the toys. So because it's in paint, you use it to paint the toys. And then also it can be found in soils. Some of the places you can find lead, I mentioned 1, the leaded pipes. The second place you can find lead in is, you might be shocked, but then I'll tell you that, you see the cookware we use for the banku and the tuozafi and then some of the other things. We have found very elevated levels of lead in those cookware. Not all of them, but most of them have been found to have lead. You might be wondering, so if it has lead, what happens? When you prepare the food, it leaches into the food and then you eat it. And then it goes into your blood. What happens when there is lead in my blood? You might be wondering. Some of the adverse effects are that it would affect your brain and your nervous system. So you're constantly having headaches. You go to the hospital, they say, oh, it's not malaria, it's not typhoid, we don't know what is wrong, but you have persistent migraines. It could be lead in your blood. Your kidneys would be affected, especially in older adults. In children, it's more profound because they are growing and then they absorb the lead more, right? So these are some of the things that would happen if you have high lead in your blood. Most of us here are students. If you have very elevated levels of lead in your blood, you would notice that your ability to understand things in class is very low. You are doing well, you are studying, but it's not going as you planned. It could be because there is lead in your blood, and so it's causing cognitive impairment and developmental issues. How do we lower our risk? You might ask. We should remember that washing our hands is very important, especially if you've been outside for a long time. Lead is in the air, it's in the soil, it's everywhere around us. Another very common cause, especially here in the northern region, is the kaji, the chilo that we use. It has very high levels of lead in it. And this is something that most of our mothers, most of us use. Even some of us have applied it today. Not all of them, but most of them have lead. You cannot know which one because currently in Ghana, there is no certified brand of eyeliner that does not, they can clearly say, okay, this brand does not have lead. So we should be cautious. Some of the products we buy, if it's not certified, it does not have an FDA logo on it, you should question the authenticity and then the safety of it. So we should remember to lead. L is to look out for and avoid suspicious products. If you are not sure about the product, don't buy it. Everyone is at risk. You might think that, oh, I'm not at risk because maybe I don't even have that cookware. I don't use the chilo. But you buy food from outside. You don't know if that cookware has lead. Everyone is at risk. We should also be advocates. Today, you've heard about lead. You can go back home today and read more about it, understand, and protect yourself from this pollution. Don't forget to always wash your hands. I started with this and I'll end with it. Especially those of us who work in heavy industrial jobs. Those of us who work as mechanics, work in the scrap yards, or even if you live close to a scrap yard, don't let your children play outside. Even when they do play outside, when they come inside, make sure that they wash their hands before eating, before everything else. So, thank you very much. I want us all to be advocates. When you go back to school, tell your friend about lead, read more about lead, and understand more about it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No queue, no wahala, I control them. From anywhere, I did press and bomb. Secure like vote, no scam, they let swift. I did jam before I did hustle, my cash they chill. Now we did hustle too, that's the deal. I invest small, watch and build. Future bright, it is shine like real. I know they panic, I know they lose. I did move smart, I did choose. They like swift, be the right cruise. Financial freedom, that's my muse. Now my money works for me, yeah. I just sit back, sip my tea, yeah. Compounded interest, sweet like melody. They like swift, they live steadily. Now my money works for me, yeah. From my phone, I they save easily. No more fear, no more worry. Peace of mind, I they sleep properly. Chalet, if you know, then you know. They like swift, make your money grow. No stress, no long talk, it's show. Now my money, they move, let's go.
I feel so excited to gain this opportunity to be a participant of the Girls in ICT.
I got the opportunity to listen to mentors, ask questions, and that's changed my perspective about ICT and what I would want to do in future.
The session today with the girls in ICT was very, very good. What I liked is the girls come across with such confidence. MTN is very committed to this program right from the beginning. We've spent 17.6 million CDs on it already, and that shows that we believe that this is important. So we will continue to support it and to progress it. We do a lot. We do things in the STEM area, as you know. We give away bursaries, and all of these are part of developing our young people, and our girls in particular, to have opportunities.
ICT is not just for boys or males. It's for girls as well. It's for women. It's for all of us. Whatever a man can do, a woman can do even better. You are going to be the bright stars of the future. You are. You really are. Do you believe that? It will not come easy, right? But it's very possible. I'm a living proof, right? You can see me here, and I've told you that I started right at the bottom in 1999.
Technology, AI, all of those things are future skills you need to learn. Regardless, if you want to be a baker, if you want to be president, if you want to go and do law, all of these subjects will help you. So it's okay if you're not sure about what you want to do, but make sure the subjects that you study, you work hard and you do them well. You can do anything. The world is yours, ladies.
Don't forget that. Carry that with you everywhere you go. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you.
From the way they are engaging the girls in ICT, it's going to bridge this gender gap because most of them are having first-hand experience in IT. And then when they go back there, they are going to be like ambassadors to their colleagues in the schools.
MTN has been a fantastic and amazing contributor and support and partner over the years. We admire them so much because without their support, it will be difficult to provide such training for these girls.
Thank you, MTN,
for organizing Girls in ICT and partnering with Ministry of Communication, Data Technology and Innovations. Thank you, MTN.
Chairperson, Madam Mariam, is a woman that I have actually admired for a long time. But let me take you through as to the reason why she is who she is today, right? Let's go through. Now, from 2019 to 2023, she's done a lot for herself. She's been a council member for the Tamale Technical University. She's been board chair for Songtaba from 2024 to present. She's been a board member as well for Songtaba from 2024 to present. Council member for Gambaga College of Education from 2021 to 2023. Board member and later board chair of the Tamale Community Nurses Training College. She has board roles involving Wale Wale Senior High Technical School and other educational organizations. She also has got some awards and some recognitions, and so let's walk through them. She has the National Honors and Awards 2024, Presidential Honors for Distinguished Services, First runner-up National Best Teacher Award, Educational Leadership 2023. She's been Regional Best Teacher Award. She's won that award before. She's been Camped Leadership. She's been given the Camped Leadership Award, and she's been recognized as a TVET ambassador by the government. Ladies and gentlemen, under her leadership, as head for Dabopa Technical Institute, you know the amazing things they are doing. Recently, you see they are doing tractors, ambulance, all kinds of things that you thought it is only in China that they do that. Dabopa Technical is doing it today.
Right here in Tamale.
Let me tell you, the standards of Dabopa, a few years, YAD, you mentioned your word goes to Dabopa, you'll be like, oh, okay, okay. But today, when you go to Dabopa, it is a first-class school. It is a first-class school because the edifice has changed, the structures are structuring, and the school is what? Schooling. Ladies and gentlemen, our chairperson for this summit, let's begin. The applause. Let's begin the applause. Ladies and gentlemen.
You can do better, ladies and gentlemen.
Madam Mariama Mahama. Let's welcome her. Louder. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Yes.
That's right. She deserves a standing ovation,
Yes,
ladies and
she
gentlemen.
does.
And it tells clearly, she's no mean person. She's a very big woman, well endowed. Let's give it up to her once more. Madam, your guest.
Please, can we have our seats? Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Madam MC. Of all the attributes, the one that touches my heart. Can anybody guess? Not the board membership, not the board chair, not the awards. But one thing that is very dear to my heart is the fact that I was named a TVET ambassador. Distinguished guests, esteemed speakers and panelists, vibrant youth, the media, of course, the organizers and the founder of Martha Inspired Foundation in the person of Miss Martha Anabila, ladies and gentlemen. It is with immense gratitude and deep sense of humility that I accept the role as a chairperson for this year's Youth Summit under the theme, Passing the Torch. Let me also commend the organizers for settling on such a beautiful theme that captures the essence of leadership, continuity, and reminding us that every generation carries both the honor and responsibility to inspire, to equip, and uplift the next. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Miss Martha Nabila and her team for giving me this meaningful role. Today, as we gather in the heart of Tamale, we are united by a shared vision to empower, inspire, and unleash the limitless potential within every young person here. The presence of passionate speakers and panelists, some are yet to join us, alone is a reminder that the journey to empowerment is never walked alone. Let us look at some realities before us. Ghana has a population of about 34 million Ghanaians. Out of this number, about 37% of them are in the youth bracket, aged between 15 and 35. If you take any 3 Ghanaians, more than one of that will belong to these brackets, the youth. So the youth is a very, very serious subject we all have to be interested in. These were gotten from our statistical service. The population demographics grants us the opportunity to invest in our youth. What do I mean by investing in them? This summit is one way of investing in the youth. Your education is another way of investing in the youth. Skills training is one way of investing in the youth. Remember, I told you the attributes that excited me was the one that says, I am an ambassador for TVET. And skills training is embedded there. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I also have this statistic, which I got from a report from the World Bank 2024. You can Google it. They are saying that, or their research reveals that, in the next decade, that is about 10 years from 2024, when the report was done, we are going to have 1.2 billion young people ready to go into the world of work. Unfortunately, there will be only 400 million job opportunities available. So ask yourself, what will happen to the 800 million young people? And I am also here to add that the 400 million jobs that would exist will exist in the skill areas. And that is why I will encourage everybody here to make time to learn a skill. Get a skill or two, because it is a fact that one income stream is not able to suffice many, many people. Can you imagine that I met a past student of mine who just finished her certificate to the equivalent of WASI in the TV space, who just finished her certificate 2 examination and started a food joint. I I decided to visit her to see what she was into. In our discussion, she told me she was able to make sales of 600 cedis in a day. 600 cedis in a day. Assuming she just works from Monday to Friday, she doesn't work during weekend. Multiply 600 times 5. That's already a 3,000. How many weeks do we have in a month? 3,000 times 4. I told her I, as the principal of the institute with over 30 years work experience, that's older than many of you here, do not earn 12,000 Ghana cedis. But I am excited that, having passed the torch to her, she is out there making it and making it proud. In fact, many public servants and civil servants do not earn that much. Another example, you all know Charlotte's Eatery. Anytime you pass by the joint by Abedipele, you see how crowded the place is. All the money, apart from taxes, she doesn't share it with anybody. One of her joints, opposite TTH, if you have seen some story building, it seems it's about 3 or 4. I need to cross-check that. It's for her. So one day in a joke, I was telling somebody that not even the CEO for Tamale Teaching Hospital can go to bargain for that piece of land where Charlotte has her eatery. The land is hers, the building is hers. So that is how beneficial skill training is. So let us not put in the back of our minds that those who do skills, those who do TVET are people who are intellectually less endowed. For me, it is rather the reverse. Look at this beautiful room we sit in. Without the inputs of the TVET persons, it would be crazy. See your beautiful clothes. Somebody with a TVET background put that together for us to look good. Can you imagine how we would have all looked without clothes? Look at the beautiful furniture above all the buildings. How would we have managed without the building? Stay in the open, at the mercy of the weather. So my dear young people here, another recent incident was when the security services advertised for recruitment. That is very recent, and many of you remember what happened. So that is just painting the picture I am trying to share with you this morning. There are no formal jobs. I have been making this illustration at other platforms. Look at the institutions in Tamale alone, the tertiary institutions. Count the number of learners they train every year. And look at the public spaces, assuming there was nobody even there working. Just 1 year cohort alone would not be able to all have spaces in those public spaces. And that is why it is very, very important to get a skill or two. Let me also add that 19% of the 1/3, Ghana's population, about 1/3 of the population numbers are youth. And 19% of those youth, young people, are neither in school nor in employment. That is a danger. They are human beings. They must eat. They must live. At whose expense? And that is why we have organizations, governments, and individuals trying to do it in their way. The TVET service is making training of skills or training people in the skill areas across the country. One thing I should have also mentioned that I am now going to mention has to do with the fact that with all these youth unemployment statistics, as well as the need statistics, not in employment, not in education, the high numbers are in our 5 northern regions. And Volta, we have always registered the high unemployment numbers. No wonder a number of our young people end up doing menial jobs, exposed to all hazards out there in the urban communities. So there is more than the justification to think about getting a skill or two. As you are here, I encourage you to listen to the speakers, the panelists, with rapt attention. Tell yourself that the 2026 Youth Summit, you came to pick your starter pack. And this time, I am not referring to a physical starter pack. I am referring to a starter pack that will turn you around to begin to think entrepreneurial, to begin to think about skills. And don't tell me it is too early for you to have skills, for you to have businesses. As a matter of fact, there is this man in town who is here to assemble and service motorbikes. He engaged some students, some old students of the Bokpa Technical Institute. After the training, these young people just looked at the man on his face and told him that we will not be able to do the work because what you are offering is too small. Why were they able to say this? Because they have skills that the employer is looking for. They are young people. The man had to come back to me for us to call those young people to negotiate. So, if you have skills, you already assert yourself some space on the negotiation table. But if you have no skills, they'll hire and fire you at their wish. My dear young people, take your pens and your jotters. Listen to the experiences that will be shared here. And when you leave here, continue the networks. Ask the right questions. Do the right engagement. And go out from here starting a business. You can do it. You can do it. You can start in groups or start individually. So that at the end of the day, you will be the CEO of groups of companies. If you hear all our entrepreneurs, they started very young. And that is why I am very excited that every year, and for the 11th time, Miss Martha Anabila and her team, and of course with support from some sponsors, have brought you together to mentor you, to coach you, to inspire you, to put yourselves together to start something. We have people out there who finish university 5, 8, 10 and still do not have. So you should not pass through that. As chair, as for TVET issues, if you allow me, I'll talk the whole day. but that is not our focus here today. I am committed to ensuring that this summit goes on successfully, and I want to assume that you would give me the fullest cooperation so that we will have a successful summit 2026. And I want to, on that note, thank you, and may this summit ignite the fire that will never fade. Thank you all for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much, our very able chairperson, for this august occasion. She deserves another round of applause. And in fact, the Bokpa Technical Institute is doing a whole lot. I'm sure we'll extend the conversation later on radio and more. And so I just got hold of some items that Bokpa Technical Institute, puts together or manufacture. So I hear of intelligent baby incubator, hydroponic system, wow, for growing of plants, egg incubator for hatching of chicks, smart dustbin for easy disposal of waste, mini tractor with a boom sprayer, simplifying agricultural mechanization. Also the tricycle, which we usually call yellow here in Tamale, safety coats, I beg your pardon, long sleeve shirts, wow, brands of tie and dye clothes. Great stuff happening right there. Let's give it up to them once again.
In case of emergency, we are sure that we are safe. People will be there to welcome my people and will be there to help us.
If they would have brought this initiative earlier than before, I don't think when I was admitted, I'll be in a wheelchair.
Let me, on behalf of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, the government and the good people of the Volta region, express our deepest gratitude to the MTN Ghana Foundation for this inauguration and handing over of this magnificent accident and emergency block extension at the Whole Teaching Hospital. Thank you, MTN Ghana, for this monumental gesture of corporate philanthropy, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
For more than 10 years, when I was posted to the facility, I've been in the emergency department throughout. The department has 22 bed capacity, but we end up having a lot of patients from Volta and OT regions. We receive patients also from the neighboring countries such as Burkina Faso, Benin, and Togo. With the facilities that are available in the old block, it puts pressure on even the staff and then the equipment that we use. So our equipment break down, most of the staff fall sick because they do overtime just to make sure that patients are fine.
With the old system, due to the congestion that we have, ideally when we are done triaging, we're supposed to hand over to resuscitation units to do their resuscitation. Because of the congestion, we are forced to intervene at the triage units. There are several times they bring in unconscious patients who are seizing, that we need bed to nurse them. But because of the congestion, we are forced to at times see them in the vehicle or on the floor, which was not helping our service delivery.
With the commissioning of this new block, we believe that it's going to help a lot. Our patients are going to benefit from the new facility because we now have some of the equipment that we don't have when we were in the old block.
MTN Ghana Foundation operates on 3 pillars: education, health, and economic empowerment. So for our health pillar, we are going through a campaign that we call Save a Life, and that covers all the health initiatives that we have. One of the things is to ensure that we are supporting health delivery in Ghana because it's one of the areas that we see a gap.
We know the space was in a dilapidated state and came together as a foundation to invest in a project that will be viable and speak to the needs of the people within the community.
We did this in about 18 months. The cost is about 15.3 million Ghana cedis. As you can see here, we have the beds.
Every bed has a monitor attached to it. They have infusion pumps. They have perfusers, which since I started working for like 11 years, such equipment have not been used in the old facility.
There's a lift that is able to take people up and down to improve accessibility.
To make service delivery quite a great one.
There was a time I came here, the emergency, and then actually I was in the wheelchair for more than 24 hours, the whole time, because there was no bed, until the patient was discharged and the bed was given to me. So this new facility that the MTN people have brought in is a very good initiative.
This project means a lot for us because most of the time, if accidents happens and we come, they will tell us they don't have bed. They are short of staffs to even attend to the people. So far as the MTN people brought this project, we are very grateful and happy.
Seeing this edifice, it's a plus to us as traditional leaders. Much more of its benefit will be allowed to us and then our citizens. It's a plus to the teaching hospital, and we also say a big congratulations for all the good works that MTN Foundation has done for us.
Everyone is welcome into this facility to ensure that we are meeting the objective for which we provided this. It's a modern facility, everything that is required is here.
I want to thank the MTN Foundation for this special initiative.
There are so many facilities, but you choose Ho to come and support us. We are very grateful.
The staff of the emergency department are saying
thank you for the great work you've done.
In the hearts of our communities, an unseen threat lingers: lead pollution. It poisons millions of mothers and children around the world and jeopardizes their health. Exposure to lead can have severe consequences, impairing the nervous system, hindering cognitive development, and casting shadows on our children's future. Lead poisoning can cause irreversible damage to the brain and nervous system, leading to lifelong health issues. Together, mothers like Rebecca are fighting for a lead-free future, demanding action from governments and communities to prioritize lead prevention.
My name is Gali Rebecca. I've lived here since 2007. I was exposed to lead upon working with used acid lead batteries for about 8 years. In transporting these batteries to the yard, we offloaded them through trailers and dismantled them using cutlass, hammers, and chisels. Although we were wearing gloves and nose masks, we were still exposed to this lead. During my period of working with the company, women like us experienced various health complications. I, for instance, could not see my menses for about 3 to 4 months before unexpectedly it comes. Some pregnant women suffered miscarriages, and some even became infertile and couldn't give birth. Due to the high lead levels in the soils, when it rains, we see acid residues as white patches on the soil. We endeavor to advise our kids to stay away from the site, as we know the consequences it has on them and the society. I am pleading with the government to carry out remediation activities on the site to avoid us coming in contact with lead acid deposit.
It's time to listen to the voices of lead poisoning mothers and protect the health of future generations. Let's join hands and build a lead-free world.